This is 7 National News, and in our top story, His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the UAE President, has issued Federal Decree No. 6 for 2015, establishing the Federal Competitiveness and Statistics Authority under the UAE Cabinet. The new authority, which will be based in Dubai, effectively replaces the National Bureau of Statistics and the Emirates Competitiveness Council by integrating the functions of both entities together. As per the decree, the authority will work to strengthen the UAE's position across all global competitiveness indicators, as well as promote sustainable development, in addition to serving as the apex body that organises and manages the statistics and competitiveness sectors. The authority is also mandated to build an integrated national statistics system. The functions include proposing policies, strategies and plans in coordination with the government and related entities, as well as evaluating international best practices. The UAE Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, visited the Dubai's Road and Transport Authority headquarters and approved a number of development projects. In the presence of the RTA Director General, who's also the Chairman of the Board of Directors, His Excellency Mata Mohammed Al Taya, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed was briefed on the progress of a number of previously approved projects and then directed the concerned RTA departments to proceed with the developments and meet the required transportation infrastructure for the Dubai Expo 2020 and the Dubai Strategic Plan 2021. The proposed projects include the airport road expansion to cater to passenger traffic, which is projected to reach 95 million by 2020. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed then approved metro station designs for Route 2020 to the Expo site. The National Election Committee has announced that the electoral process for the Federal National Council elections 2015 will enter into a period of silence for 48 hours, starting from today, the 1st of October, through to the 3rd of October, which is, of course, Election Day. The NEC has urged all candidates and their representatives, as well as the media, to refrain from any form of election campaigning during this period. Tariq Hilal Luta, the Undersecretary of the Ministry of State for Federal National Council Affairs, who's also the chairman of the Election Management Committee, explained that the period of electoral silence will allow enough time for voters to decide their candidates on their own without any outside influence. Voting will take place from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on October the 3rd at 36 polling centres across all Emirates. This comes as a total of 37,663 Emiratis cast their ballots in the first of the early voting sessions. Mecomed, the MENA Devices and Diagnostics Trade Association, hosted the region's first ever regulatory symposium, offering a unique platform to discuss ways to harmonise regulatory practices within the pharmaceutical sector, while also allowing patients to gain access to high-quality treatments. The inaugural MENA MedTech Regulatory Symposium in Dubai saw the Assistant Undersecretary for Public Health Policy and the Licence Sector for the UAE Ministry of Health, His Excellency Dr. Amin Hussein Al Amiri, state that the aim of the gathering is to find ways to provide patients with timely and cost-effective life-saving therapies. And this cannot be possible without key strategic partnerships with the private sector. Dr. Amiri highlighted that with better regulatory practices in drug manufacturing and distribution methods, safe medicines can be administered to patients, which will help in stopping the flow of counterfeit medicines and equipments from reaching health practitioners and patients. It was also mentioned during the symposium that while it is crucial to forge partnerships with various countries to harmonise regulatory practices, miscommunication must be avoided in order to ensure that only safe products reach patients.
First of all, such gathering, which having the regulatory managers from different countries at the region, will be a great support for each single participant to understand the regulations in the other countries and to make sure that if he will be able to adopt any of the new regulations which is being implemented in other countries or with the international organizations, that will be a great help for them to go back home and to make sure that they will be able to implement that regulations. For us as an Emirates, always it's very important to have such symposiums here at the Emirates, because Emirates is hosting almost above 90% of all international pharmaceutical and medical companies, which they have their regional office for MENA region, which is Middle East, North Africa here, specifically in Dubai, and the rest of the Emirates in United Arab Emirates. And therefore, having the people from different organizations, different countries, will help us in understanding their need, will help us in encouraging the new investors, the new companies to come and join us.
The focus that we have today in this kind of meeting is to have various ideas shared so that we can mind the gaps between the geographies, but at the same time so that we can enhance the communication between MECOMED members as one voice, one way or another, and the regulators so that they can we reduce the miscommunication. The miscommunication happened because in this part of the world also we have various stages of communication between the manufacturers or the companies that are part of MECOMED and the regulator. There's also one point which is a middleman, which is the partners that we have, the distributors, which are essential and important for us. But whenever you have more than one step in communication, possibility of delays, errors happen. By having this direct bridging and direct relationship with the regulators, we can mind the gaps, reduce the communication errors, and ensure a timely arrival to the markets of the latest technology so that the patients can benefit from them.
During the gathering, medtech regulatory professionals, key stakeholders and leaders in the healthcare industry also shared the latest updates in the regional and international regulations of medical devices and also exchanged reports on key regulatory topics. Furthermore, many international speakers also discussed various topics such as quality management, the development of regional and global collaborative schemes, clinical trials, as well as ways to adapt regulatory practices to new technologies.
Good devices, medical devices, should be made available to the citizens for good patient care. And the second area is that it must also be enterprise and pro-industry to help with the economy of the country. Two quite big areas. And of course, with emerging countries, what we look at is how can we best do it without reinventing the wheel and going into areas that we can draw information from international matured regulatory agencies and then make our own decisions for our citizens. So that is the direction that we should be going for countries that's opening their markets.
Private schools over in Abu Dhabi will still be inspected once every 2 years. And here in Dubai, schools will be inspected on an annual basis. That's despite the introduction of a unified inspection system by the Ministry of Education. According to a local daily, the new framework was introduced by the ministry in August, but the 130-page document did not include the frequency of inspector visits. It was left up to the Abu Dhabi Education Council and Dubai's Knowledge and Human Development Authority, who decided it would not change. According to ADEC's Private School Quality Assurance Department, the main differences between the UAE framework and the one ADEC used until the end of last year is the number of performance standards and the quality levels or scale. The UAE framework has 6 performance standards instead of 8. Abu Dhabi private schools will now be ranked from very weak to outstanding. They will be rated on pupil achievement, personal and social development, innovation skills, teaching and assessment, curriculum, the protection, care, guidance and support of pupils, as well as the quality of the leadership and management. Dubai is set to host the world's first ever 24-hour tennis marathon, which will be made up of both local and international players. Different teams representing corporate companies from the UAE will compete against each other this November the 13th and the 14th at the Grand Hyatt, Dubai. Organisers are looking to make this an annual event so as to encourage local talent and to further promote tennis in the region. The event will also attempt to break the Guinness World Record for having more than 72 players playing in an exhibition event, and each team will consist of 12 players, who will be selected from the Dubai Tennis Academy coaching squad. Players from the tennis community of the UAE are being invited to register their nomination to participate.
We want to take tennis to a different level. Dubai is a place and UAE is a place which has been very supportive to the sport, and this is the place we've chosen to take the sport to a different level. A level that is beyond the obvious, and that's the reason we are launching a unique tennis contest which is called 24 Tennis Marathon.
We will also be bringing over a star player, which is Marion Bartoli, which will make the 73rd player, and with this we'll break the official world record. This event is all about also playing for the community and raising funds for Rashid Pediatric Society.
And finally, looking to other news now, a premier fondue restaurant chain, The Melting Pot, has opened its first branch in Dubai's Box Park, following the success of over 140 restaurants worldwide. The Florida-based restaurant will be offering a unique dining experience that is reminiscent of the Middle Eastern concept of sharing meals. The new venue offers its customers an interactive four-course fondue experience, featuring cheese fondues, salads, entrees, and even chocolate fondues. Guests can also celebrate special occasions such as birthdays and anniversaries. Highlights from the menu include fondues such as the classic Alpine Swiss, Quattro Formaggio, and the spicy Fiesta cheese, all prepared tableside. A big selection of meat entrees is also on offer, which will be finished off with a dark and white yin and yang chocolate fondue. According to the management, The Melting Pot is the first restaurant in the region that is centered around the fondue experience. And of course, Dubai is the perfect location to introduce this kind of new concept.
That The Melting Pot is not only about food. As you said, it's about food, it's about the experience, it's about the staff, it's about everything it's about a great occasion that you can have in Melting Pot, that the diners can have in Melting Pot. And this is what we tried to do with Melting Pot. We brought in a concept from the States that started in '75, and we brought it here to Dubai as the first country in the Middle East, where we launched it in a very unique location, which is Box Park, and we created a very unique environment and a unique design. In addition to the design that we have that makes it unique, we also have a unique team of staff, comes from many different countries. Our staff speak about 5-6 different languages. But what is also very interesting is that we are looking at bringing in local flavors, like hopefully dates dipped in chocolate, doing something specific for Ramadan. So these are all the ways that you can expand the brand and evolve the brand as time goes.
We were surprised by the influx of people, by the reaction of people. So far, it has been great, and we're receiving continuous reservations. I say that the Dubai Melting Pot in Dubai is successful, and surely we'll see that in the coming few months. We just basically signed in Qatar, so hopefully we'll be opening in Qatar soon through a franchisee. We signed as well in Kuwait, and we're discussing with Bahrain as well as Oman. And Saudi is opening in a couple of months. So you guys who didn't make it to Dubai, you should visit Saudi as well. We'll be opening soon.